How you start your morning determines how you live your day, and how you live your days determines how you live your life. I did not always believe this. For most of my younger years, mornings were chaos. Rushing to get ready, gulping down coffee, racing out the door with my mind already spinning with stress before the day had even begun. I thought this was just how life worked, that mornings were something to survive, not savor, that the real living happened later, after the obligations were done. But something changed as I got older. I started paying attention to how different mornings led to different days. When I woke up rushed and frantic, my entire day felt rushed and frantic. When I woke up slowly and intentionally, my day unfolded with more peace and clarity. So I built a morning routine. Not a complicated hour-long ritual with dozens of steps. Just a simple series of habits that set me up for a good day. Habits that take care of my body, my mind, and my spirit before the world starts demanding my attention. This routine has become sacred to me. It is the foundation on which every good day is built. And on the days when I skip it, I feel the difference immediately. More anxiety, less focus, a vague sense that something is wrong. Today, I want to walk you through my morning, step by step. Not because I think you should copy exactly what I do, but because maybe hearing what works for me will inspire you to create a morning routine that works for you. Let me start from the moment I open my eyes. The first part of my morning routine is the simplest, but perhaps the most important. I wake up slowly. I do not jump out of bed the moment my eyes open. I do not reach for my phone. I do not immediately start thinking about everything I need to do. Instead, I lie there for a few minutes, just breathing, just being, letting my body transition gently from sleep to wakefulness. This might sound like laziness, but it is actually the opposite. It is intentional. It is a choice to begin my day with peace rather than panic. During these quiet minutes, I pay attention to how my body feels. Any stiffness, any aches, any areas that need extra care today. I take a mental inventory without judgment, just awareness. I also pay attention to my breathing, deep, slow breaths that fill my lungs completely. This sends a signal to my nervous system that everything is okay, that there is no emergency, that I am safe. For most of my life, I woke up with my heart already racing, before my feet even hit the floor. My mind was spinning with worries and to-do lists and anxieties about the day ahead. By the time I got out of bed, I was already exhausted. Learning to wake up slowly changed everything. Now my body eases into the day instead of being shocked into it. My mind stays calm instead of immediately going into overdrive. I spend about 5 to 10 minutes in this slow waking phase. Some days more, some days less. There is no strict rule. The only rule is no rushing, no grabbing the phone, no jumping into mental activity. Just breathing, just being, just giving myself the gentlest possible start. The second step of my morning is drinking water. Before coffee, before food, before anything else enters my body. I keep a glass of water on my nightstand, so it is the first thing I see when I sit up. I drink the entire glass slowly, letting my body absorb it. This sounds so simple it might seem unimportant. But after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated. Your organs have been working all night without any water. Your brain, which is mostly water, needs hydration to function properly. When I started this habit, I noticed a difference within days. More mental clarity in the mornings, less grogginess, more energy. It was such a small change with such significant results. I add a squeeze of lemon to my water sometimes. Not every day, but often. The lemon adds some vitamin C and gives my digestive system a gentle wake-up call. After this first glass, I move to the kitchen and drink another full glass while I prepare for the rest of my morning. By the time I have my first cup of coffee, I have already had 2 glasses of water. This order matters. Most people reach for coffee first thing, which is actually a diuretic that dehydrates you further. Starting with water reverses this pattern. You hydrate first, then enjoy your coffee. I cannot overstate how much this simple habit has improved my mornings. If you do nothing else I mentioned today, try this one thing. Water before coffee. Water before food. Water before anything. Your body will thank you. The third step of my morning is gentle movement. Not intense exercise, not pushing myself to exhaustion, just gentle, intentional movement that wakes up my body and gets my blood flowing. As we get older, our bodies stiffen overnight. Joints get tight, muscles get stiff. If I went from lying in bed to sitting in a chair to going about my day, I would feel creaky and uncomfortable for hours. So I spend about 15 minutes doing simple stretches and movements. Nothing complicated. Nothing that requires equipment or special clothing. Just my body moving through space in ways that feel good. I start with my neck, rolling it gently in circles. Then my shoulders, shrugging them up and down, rolling them forward and back. Then my arms, reaching up toward the ceiling, out to the sides, stretching the muscles that have been still all night. I move through my spine next, gentle twists while sitting on the edge of my bed, bending forward to touch my toes, or as close to my toes as I can reach, arching my back gently, then rounding it. Then my hips and legs, knee lifts while holding onto a chair for balance, ankle circles, calf stretches against the wall, gentle squats if my body is up for it that day. I pay attention to what my body needs. Some days I am stiffer than others. Some days certain areas need more attention. I do not follow a rigid script. I listen and respond. This movement is not about burning calories or building muscle. It is about maintaining mobility, about keeping my joints lubricated, about telling my body that movement is still part of our life. The difference between days when I do this routine and days when I skip it is dramatic. With movement, I feel limber and capable all day. Without it, I feel stiff and old. 15 minutes is a small investment for such a significant return. The fourth step of my morning routine is the one that takes the least time but might have the biggest impact. I spend a few minutes focusing on gratitude. Before I check any news, before I look at any messages, before I let the outside world into my head, I deliberately focus on what is good in my life. I do not write in a journal, although some people find that helpful. I simply sit quietly, usually with my morning coffee by now, and think about 3 things I am grateful for today. They do not have to be big things. In fact, they are usually small things. The warmth of the sun coming through my window, the fact that I slept well, the comfort of my favorite chair, the anticipation of a simple pleasure later in the day. What matters is not what I am grateful for, but the act of deliberately focusing my mind on appreciation rather than anxiety. Our minds naturally scan for problems. This kept our ancestors alive. But in modern life, this constant scanning for threats just creates stress. We wake up and immediately start thinking about everything that could go wrong, everything we need to worry about, everything that is not good enough. Gratitude practice interrupts this pattern. It trains the mind to also notice what is right, what is working, what is good. And over time, this training changes how you experience everything. I have been doing this practice for years now, and I can tell you that my baseline level of happiness has increased. Not because my circumstances changed dramatically, but because I taught my mind to see the good that was always there. 3 things, every morning. It takes less than 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes shape how I see the entire day. The fifth step is breakfast. A real breakfast. Not skipped, not rushed, not grabbed on the way out the door. I keep my breakfast simple. I'm not cooking elaborate meals at 7 in the morning, but I make sure it is nourishing, something that will give my body and brain the fuel they need. My typical breakfast includes protein, because protein keeps me full and maintains my muscle as I age. Eggs are common, sometimes Greek yogurt, sometimes leftover chicken or fish from the night before. I include some fruit or vegetables for vitamins and fiber. Berries are my favorite. Sometimes a banana. Sometimes whatever vegetables I have that need to be used. And I include something with healthy fats for my brain. Avocado, nuts, olive oil drizzled on toast. Our brains need fat to function, and I have noticed a real difference in my mental clarity when I include good fats in my breakfast. What I avoid in the morning is large amounts of sugar, sugary cereals, pastries, sweetened drinks. These might taste good in the moment, but they send my blood sugar on a roller coaster that leaves me tired and foggy by mid-morning. I eat my breakfast slowly, without screens, no television, no phone, just me and my food, and perhaps a view out the window. This is harder than it sounds in our distracted world. But eating without distraction helps digestion and makes the meal more satisfying. This breakfast ritual takes about 20 minutes. It is one of the most peaceful parts of my day. Just sitting, eating, not rushing to be anywhere or do anything. Some mornings, especially nice ones, I take my breakfast outside. The fresh air and natural light add another layer of goodness to the experience. The sixth step of my morning routine is doing something that engages my mind, something that is not passive consumption, but active thinking. For me, this is usually reading, not scrolling through news headlines or social media. Real reading, a book that makes me think, an article that teaches me something new, poetry that makes me feel something. I spend about 20 to 30 minutes in this mental engagement, some days more if I am particularly absorbed in what I am reading. This practice has several benefits. It keeps my mind sharp. As we age, the brain needs exercise, just like the body does. Reading challenging material is like a workout for your neurons. It also fills my mind with something worthwhile before the world fills it with noise. Whatever I read in the morning stays with me throughout the day. Ideas percolate. Perspectives shift. I find myself thinking about what I read hours later. Some mornings I do puzzles instead of reading, crosswords or Sudoku, something that requires concentration and problem solving. These are not just entertainment, they are maintenance for my cognitive function. Other mornings I write, not for anyone else to read, just for myself. Thoughts about my life, ideas I am processing, memories I want to preserve. The act of writing forces me to think clearly, to organize my thoughts, to articulate what I am feeling. The specific activity matters less than the principle. Every morning, I give my mind something meaningful to do before I hand it over to the demands of the day. This ensures that at least part of my mental energy goes towards something enriching rather than just reactive. The seventh and final step of my morning routine is stepping outside. Even if just for a few minutes, even if the weather is not perfect, even if I do not go far, there is something about being outdoors that resets me. The fresh air, the natural light, the feeling of being part of the larger world rather than just my own little bubble. I usually take a short walk around my garden or my neighborhood. Nothing strenuous, just moving through the world, breathing fresh air, noticing what is happening in nature. I pay attention to the sky, the clouds, the birds, the plants and trees. This is not just pleasant, it is grounding. It reminds me that I am part of something much bigger than my own concerns. Natural light is also important for health. Morning sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm, telling your body it is daytime, boosting your alertness, and setting you up for better sleep that night. This is why artificial light, no matter how bright, does not have the same effect. Even 5 or 10 minutes outside makes a difference. But I usually stay out for 15 or 20, sometimes longer if the weather is beautiful or if I am particularly enjoying my walk. By the time I come back inside, I am fully awake. My body has moved. My senses have been engaged. My mind is clear and ready for whatever the day holds. This outdoor time marks the transition from my morning routine to the rest of my day. It is the bridge between the sacred, protected hours of morning and the more unpredictable hours that follow. So that is my morning. 7 simple steps that take roughly 2 to 2.5 hours from the time I wake up until I am ready to engage with the day. I know what you might be thinking. 2 hours is a long time. That is a significant chunk of the morning dedicated just to a routine. And you are right. It is a significant investment. But here is how I see it. I am retired. My time is my own. I do not have a job demanding I be somewhere at a specific hour. This is one of the great gifts of this stage of life, and I choose to use it wisely. But even when I was working, I had a shorter version of this routine, maybe 45 minutes instead of 2 hours. The principles were the same, just compressed. Wake slowly, hydrate, move, practice gratitude, eat well, engage the mind, get outside. You do not need to copy my exact routine or my exact timing. What matters is the intention, the decision to start your day deliberately rather than reactively, the commitment to take care of yourself before you start taking care of everything else. When I skip this routine, when I wake up late and rush into my day, I feel the difference all day long. More stress, less patience, poorer decisions, a vague sense of being behind, of never quite catching up. When I honor this routine, everything flows better. I am calmer. I am clearer. I handle challenges with more grace. I enjoy pleasures more fully. I feel like myself. This is not magic. It is just good maintenance. Like taking care of a car or a house. The more you invest in upkeep, the better everything runs. If you do not have a morning routine, or if your current morning is chaotic and rushed, I want to encourage you to build one. Not by copying mine exactly, but by thinking about what you need. Start by asking yourself what tends to go wrong when you do not have a good morning. Do you feel anxious? Maybe you need more calming practices like slow waking and gratitude. Do you feel stiff and uncomfortable? Maybe you need movement. Do you feel foggy and unfocused? Maybe you need better hydration and mental stimulation. Then, build your routine around addressing those needs. Add elements one at a time. Do not try to implement a complex routine overnight. Add one new habit, practice it until it becomes automatic. Then add another. Pay attention to what actually works for you, not what sounds impressive. Some people thrive with meditation. I have tried it many times, and it never stuck for me. So I do not force it. I do what actually works, not what I think I should do. Protect your routine fiercely. Do not let other people's schedules or demands erode your morning time. This is not selfish. This is necessary. You cannot give your best to others if you have not first taken care of yourself. Be flexible when you need to be. Some days my routine gets shortened or disrupted. That is okay. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency over time, with grace for the exceptions. And remember that your routine can and should evolve. What I need at this stage of life is different from what I needed at 50 or 60. As my body and mind change, my routine adapts. Stay curious about what you need now, not what worked 10 years ago. I have shared my morning with you. 7 simple steps that take care of my body, my mind, and my spirit before the day truly begins. Waking slowly, drinking water, moving gently, practicing gratitude, eating a nourishing breakfast, engaging my mind, stepping outside. None of these are complicated. None require special equipment or unusual discipline. They are just small, intentional choices repeated day after day. And yet together, they have transformed how I experience my life. Not by changing my circumstances, but by changing how I meet each day. By ensuring that I am calm, clear, and cared for before the world starts making demands. If your mornings are currently chaotic, if you wake up already behind, if you rush through the first hours of your day without any intention, I encourage you to try a different way. Even one or two of these steps can make a difference. You deserve mornings that nourish you. You deserve to start each day with peace rather than panic. You deserve to feel like you are living your life rather than just reacting to it. Thank you for spending this morning with me, at least this virtual version of it. If this video helped you, share it with someone who might benefit from rethinking their mornings. Subscribe if you want more conversations about living well in this stage of life. I share what I am learning, what is working for me, and what I wish someone had told me sooner. Until next time, take care of yourself. Start tomorrow well. And remember, how you begin is how you continue. I will see you in the next one.